Okay.
All right.
So, here we are. Get in the screen here.
Let's start over.
No, I can edit that. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Jimmy, you started a brand new business called Pathogen Risk Management. That's right?
That's right.
So tell us in layman's terms what it is, how it works, and kind of how you found out about it.
Okay, David, thank you very much. I am excited about this opportunity. Been in the insurance business all my life and just wrapped up 19 years with Colonial Life. And I probably would have stayed a good bit longer, but I got this opportunity and I dug into it and I looked into it, and I just think it's something that is kind of like a calling, because what I'm doing is going to help so many people, and it's sort of a bold statement to say that it's going to save lives, but I really believe what it is will absolutely do that. And I'm excited. I'm having fun, and look forward to explaining this business opportunity to you today.
Tell me about the name.
Pathogen Risk
name.
Management. Yeah. Okay. Pathogens, virus, bacteria, mold, mildew, spores infect us as humans. They are everywhere. They're in our society. They're all over the place, and they make you sick.
From the common cold to
from the
whatever.
flu to the cold to COVID to MRSA to C. diff. They make us sick, and in certain instances, they kill us. They can make us very sick. They can kill us.
Right.
So here's the story, and here's how I got into this. I was introduced to somebody named Garrett Hartley. Garrett was a field goal kicker for the Saints, won the Super Bowl for the Saints, actually made 3 field goals that day in 2009 when they played the Colts. Garrett was 9 years in the NFL, retired, and started in the medical durable equipment business with Stryker, fine company. Garrett was introduced to a man that had worked at NASA. Now, some of you may not even know that a huge NASA facility is in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, the Stennis Space Center. This gentleman is a PhD, he's a scientist, and his job that he was assigned was to figure out a way to make sure that the astronauts that are up there in the space station don't get the flu, don't get a cold, don't get sick. And he was successful in his endeavor. And he retired from NASA, and NASA let him take the technology with him.
So he owns the patent on it, or did?
Yes.
Right. The inventor.
Sold it. He's the inventor of the process that I'm going to describe here in just a minute. He didn't know anything about sales. But he wanted to be a distributor for the company. So in the negotiations, he became a master distributor for the product that I'm going to tell you about. And he needed a marketing person to be his partner, and that's Garrett Hartley, who has become my friend. And I've now formed my company, Pathogen Risk Management, which is a distributor of the system that we're going to talk about here in just a moment.
Okay. So where does this get installed? What exactly does it do to those pathogens?
Well, first of all, it depends. We have 70 different products. It goes from home use all the way up to industrial use. Hospitals, nursing homes are a target. So are public and private schools because of COVID. Indoor air quality is something that you're going to hear a lot about in the future because it's just time. We didn't get COVID outside. We got COVID in close quarters with other folks. So imagine a bread box about that big that is installed in your air conditioning vent right up above your head. The air passes through the first chamber, and it is hit with UV light, sunshine. We've always heard sunshine is the best disinfectant, and it is. So we use the exact amount of UV light that triggers a process that generates the actual molecules that defeat, disable, denature viruses. So it goes from the first chamber, it's hit with the UV light, and then it goes into the next section, and the process takes hydrogen and humidity out of the air. It creates a molecule of gaseous hydrogen peroxide. Same material that you put on a cold or a cold sore or a scratch or a cut. We all know it. We use it all the time. This is gaseous hydrogen peroxide. It is odorless. It does not create any sort of liquid feel to the paper. It doesn't get soft. You don't even know it's in the room. And what it is doing is it is actually attaching itself to the bacteria, to the virus, to the mold that is with us all the time. It takes the molecules of the virus to the surface, it penetrates the cell wall, and it defeats and disables that pathogen.
So I saw on their website, it doesn't just kind of do this. I mean, it's almost virtually eliminates it to like 99%. That's right. And now the technology of the UV light that's been out for a while. What makes it different is that second stage, right?
The second stage. Look, there's a lot of different ways that people are trying to defeat viruses every day. HEPA filters is one way. UV light is another way. But this takes it in a proactive approach, not a reactionary approach. What's so beautiful about this is it can take and disable as much as 99% of the pathogens in the air and on surfaces. And the benefit to an employer is this. People are working from home, and the employers, many of them want their people to come back to work, but their people say they don't feel safe. Well, this is a step that a business can take to defeat and disable pathogens in a proactive 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week. It works constantly with the flow of the air, and it does not use very much electricity at all. Another beautiful byproduct of this is the reduction in odors. When you smell ammonia, or when you smell that tuna fish sandwich that's been sitting on the counter for a couple of hours, you're actually smelling the molecules of the odor. This process attacks those odor molecules also and disables them.
And doesn't ruin your sandwich, right?
No, absolutely not. In fact, there are businesses that are near slaughterhouses in the Midwest in Iowa that are close to the slaughterhouse, and so the odor, you might imagine, is not very pleasant, and they have installed this equipment to make the experience of the employees better. Now, I want to get to the point that I'm most excited about, and that is the reduction in infection and the life-saving component of this. Healthcare is a target audience. Doctors' offices, surgical centers, nursing homes, hospitals, they deal with virus, with bacteria, and they deal with it every day. In the case of MRSA, many of you have probably heard of that. That is this horrible staph infection that is rampant in many hospitals. It's my understanding that every time someone gets MRSA inside a hospital, it costs the hospital over $70,000. Not to mention the bad publicity, because if a hospital has a MRSA problem, that word gets out in the community.
So this isn't an indictment of those places, because I'm sure they have the greatest cleaning crew.
Absolutely.
And it's pristine as can be, but all it takes is one person to sneeze and
Absolutely.
cough or whatever.
As soon as somebody walks in and coughs, then the room is chock full of viruses, bacteria, etc. No, this process is a part of a comprehensive approach. They're going to continue to disinfect. They may spend money on more sophisticated HEPA filters. We think that is great. This is the stopgap measure, a proactive approach to disabling viruses and bacteria. And it works. It's FDA approved, and it has been placed in the Space Hall of Fame. So it works. It works in a nursing home setting, a hospital setting, a business setting, manufacturing. Everybody has a benefit by using this technology.
Off a little bit, what about somebody that may want to, well, heck, I want this at my house?
Sure.
What about them?
You know, absolutely. There are millions of these floor units that have been sold over the years, and it works. I have 6 grandchildren, and within the first 3 weeks of August, all 6 of them had gotten strep throat. And that is a problem. It costs schools money when they have their students that are not there.
Teachers.
And the teachers that are not there. My little sister works in a church daycare setting, and, you know, let's just face it, children, they have a lot of germs. Well,
that's right.
And we're not going to defeat all of them, especially in a daycare setting, but we're going to reduce the chances of infection in a dramatic manner. So yes, it's available.
Pathogen
Risk Management.
Right.
And
if I can ever get that right.
That's right. Yeah, well, we do mitigate it.
That's right.
Another tagline that I'm using is infection prevention.
Right. So we talked about this before, but I want to ask it again. If this had been universally installed in hospitals, nursing homes, schools, homes during the pandemic that we all remember so vividly, what difference do you think that could have made?
Well, it certainly wouldn't have stopped it, but I think we would have seen a lot less death, a lot less illness. But, you know, that's part of it. It was not in all the nursing homes and all the hospitals. The opportunity for us to help people and to make a nice income from the process, it really was not available to the extent that it is now.
You certainly didn't know about it.
Oh, no, absolutely not. But look, I want everybody to understand, there are some phenomenal famous hospitals like Ochsner's in New Orleans that are using this process. The Cleveland Clinic, which is the world's standard for heart health, is using this system. Other hospitals around the United States are, and more and more are going to need it. And so there's an opportunity here for us to make a profit from this. There's no license required. You know, the insurance business where I've been all these years is a relationship business. I'm sending this out social media to people that I have connections with, but I've sent it to a few of you because I want you to know about it first. You know, all we need to do is get me or Garrett, my business associate, on the phone or a Zoom call. We can get their attention. They are dealing with pathogens every day. I talked to someone this week that said that they had purchased robots that would go into the rooms and disinfect. And I said, well, did it reduce? And the answer came back quickly, yes, but it's still a problem.
Wow. So I know we're going on a little bit here, but real quick, if a facility said, yes, I would like for you to come and investigate our facility, what would that process look like?
The process would be one of an investigation. First of all, in the healthcare industry, it's my experience, they know they have a problem. So we would actually do an examination of their current air conditioning system, making sure that it is something that is going to be able to work inside it. They might have a really nasty air conditioning system that we would need to ask them, and we can clean it. Stanley Steamer does that sort of thing. We want to be able to show them up front just how big a problem they have, and then provide a solution that will eliminate as much as 99% of the pathogens that are in this.
So we're looking at, your guys are looking at the architecture of this building. We're not just coming in, here's your solution.
Absolutely not. It's going to be a tailored solution. And in fact, in a hospital setting, it's probably going to start with the OR, with the intensive care unit, with the emergency room waiting. And those are the hot spots. Those are the places that are overwhelmingly worse than other sections of the hospital. If you think about it, the broom closet is something that might not have as much of a viral load as the intensive care unit would. So it's going to be surgical, it's going to be structured, it's going to be strategic in how we present the solution to the medical facility. Same for an office building who may not realize that they do have a problem, and their problem is a high pathogen load, but the problem also is their people aren't at work. And this is a step to help improve morale and improve productivity, because I've seen recently that productivity is down from those folks that are working from home.
Well, what about getting it in on the front end on a new commercial construction, that kind of thing, or a new home for that matter?
Absolutely. That is a huge market for architects, engineers, builders. They can
air conditioning contractors.
They can put this in their proposal, and if the prospect may not want it, all they got to do is take that part out of the proposal.
But you're basically saying when you get that building built, we have superior air quality in our facility that makes
100%.
it a safer facility, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
It's also important to understand that this is not just something that we go install and forget about it. It has 24/7 monitoring. If a system were to go on the blink, we would notify them, we would know about it, we would send in a team to address that one unit. There are, once or twice a year, the equipment is serviced to make sure that it's producing the optimal amount of molecules that disable the pathogens.
So it's by a trained person.
100%.
Right.
100%. And it's not me.
Not us, not us. So Jimmy, I mean, it's an amazing thing that you've run across, and I honestly can't see why everybody that is connected with these type of facilities would not at least want to hear about this.
I haven't been told no yet that they know there's a problem. They're at least open to listening. We have financing. If it's an organization that is strapped for cash, we have a financing organization for it, and we don't give tax advice, but it is a tax deductible process because it is a improvement in the building. So it is tax deductible, it's my understanding. Talk to your own tax advisor for advice.
And you also told me that there was a possibility that for like public schools K through 12, there might be federal grant money that actually could pay for the equipment.
That's right.
Potentially.
And we can help you with that too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you. I'm pretty excited about this. We could all, everybody that might be watching this and us, we could be kind of undercover heroes, if you want to say it, because the flu season that you don't hear about is probably the best case scenario, right? Or the next pandemic that doesn't happen.
Well, we all hope and pray that doesn't happen, but influenza cost American businesses billions and billions of dollars. We didn't have the flu last year, if you recall. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, but I do know this. America needs this. We need this. Our communities need this. So thank you for listening. And hey, give me a call, 601-818-7535.
Say it one more time.
601-818-7535. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
BR549.